New Age Parenting.
Hello and a very warm welcome to New Age Parenting, a new session. Let's do something new in this new session, in this new year, and that is to create new belief systems. Yes, we've been talking about new ways of parenting. So let us explore, can my child's passion, can my child's interest in creativity or in research can become its profession? It's high time we understand that it is possible. There are different ways, there are different options available, and maybe, like if I give in for once to my child's aspirations, it'll be a different result. So time now for an open soul searching.
दिल की धड़कनों को यह लॉजिक समझा पाया नहीं, अब जिंदगी की मंजिल को पाना है।
We're living in an age where technology has made it easier for many talents to find their voice. Every industry is looking for something new and fresh. Media has glamorized creative fields. Children feel creative leaning on an aptitude for sports can get them name, fame, and money. Let's explore what it takes to convert your passion into your profession.
And time now to meet our two special guests who will be talking about converting your passion into your profession in our soul searching. We have the privilege to have Stephen Rudolph, who is Educational Director of Jiva Education and also a best-selling author. And we have Viraj Bahari, who is a class 9 student and a very good singer. A very warm welcome to both of you. A beautiful singer whose video has just come out. Can you sing that song for us? A little bit of it?
Yeah. So, Vande Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram,
That was so nice. Steve, now we have a talent in front of us, and you must be meeting so many talented kids. This is the time when actually I say that these new age kids are really, really talented in every field. What's happening out? Parents are able to accept?
Well, I think parents are recognizing that children have talent. There's no question about that. But to allow a child to pursue some of these talents is not always so easy for parents, because they're conditioned and they know certain jobs are safe jobs, such as engineering or for going for something in medical or IAS or something like that. So they tend to want their children to go for a quote-unquote safe job and maybe keep their talents as a hobby. That's the trend.
But don't you think we're actually shifting from, to that kind of rigidity now, those three basic professions, to a little bit more?
But I would say at this stage it's still a minority of the parents that are really open to that. And it's usually parents who are a little bit more enlightened or parents who have the financial resources, and there's not that pressure that if the child doesn't succeed that it's going to cause a disruption in the families.
Are you ready to take up music as a profession, or you would like to go for a safe bet?
So I would love to turn my passion into a career, but I belong to a business family and here their mindset is totally different. But still, I feel my parents are really progressive in their thinking, and they really encourage me for music. But still, I'm not neglecting my studies. I have to still be good at them and see what happens next.
Tell me something, if you're passionate about something, and first thing is, are you passionate about your music?
Yes, of course.
Do you love it?
Yeah.
You feel the music always there around you? So don't you think that 24/7 is not enough? Is that so? If you are into singing, if you are into music for say 4 hours, 5 hours, then rest 4 hours, are you comfortable in studying or you feel suffocated?
I don't think I can study for 4 hours, but I can definitely play music for 4 hours. I can study for maybe 2 hours.
That irks parents.
Yeah. So I think a lot has to do with, number one, the parent's comfort level. This is the first thing. And the second thing has to do really with the child's ability.
To cope.
I would say, I mean, if it's that you want to allow them to pursue a passion, it's really the question of, do they genuinely have that ability or not, or to enough of a degree that they could become a success with that talent? That's the question that needs to be answered, because sometimes when I meet with kids, I'll say that, what do you want to do? I want to become a cricketer. Well, why? Because I want name and fame and money.
And then peer pressure,
Yeah.
yes, of course, that's a big thing.
But they're not ready to wake up like Sachin Tendulkar used to do at 4 a.m. and get out there and play cricket for 8 hours a day, or to play guitar for 6 to 8 hours per day. They can play for 2 hours and they can dream about what it will be like one day to be famous, but when push comes to shove, they don't really have that ability, as Viraj is rightly saying, to do it all the time, to do it any time. That's an indication of a passion that is probably worth pursuing. So we have to see, does the child have the ability? And if so, what is the parent's comfort level to bring that out and to sustain that?
Lot of kids out there who actually, you're right, who say that we want to do this, but then parents are actually fearful because they are also not, they don't know much about that profession.
Yes.
Where they want to go. There is a lot of insecurity because uncertainty. And then they don't have too much confidence on whether he'll just give up after some time. And
yeah, you see, parents don't want to make the wrong decision.
Yes.
They want to see their child succeed. If you ask parents what they want, they're going to tell you, I want him to be happy, I want him to do what he enjoys doing, he should be successful, he should have name, he should be... But then if you ask them that, well, if he became a photographer and achieved all those things, would you have a problem with it? Because they understand that to get those things, there are ways that are safe of doing it, and they want those things first. If you put it to them in those terms, they tend to be, they'll say that, okay, if he became a photographer and he got all those things, I'd be okay with it. But they don't want to take a risk that if I allow him to go for music or photography or one of these maybe non-traditional jobs, what if he didn't succeed?
yes, that's
They
the
would
fear.
curse themselves for the rest of their lives that they allowed their child to take that decision against their better judgment, and he didn't succeed. And then they're going to curse themselves.
So this is a time when you actually need to learn about the industry also. What are the needs of the industry? Have you done your research a little bit?
Yeah, I have. So as of now, I know that a lot of efforts and a lot of hard work is required to become anything in the industry, and I have to always have a backup plan, like a fallback plan, that if I don't get success in the music industry, what am I going to do? Because my parents keep telling me that I have to have like a career, that I have to make a career out of it. And
So there are a lot of options in the music industry also, like there's not just that fame is the only key factor, because there are a lot of ways you can be in that music industry. Suppose the child who wants to make a career in creative arts has the support of the parent. Will it be easier for him to make a name into it?
Of course. And you can think about it in terms of the seed and the field, or the cultivation, what I'll call bij and khet or kheti. So first of all, the seed has to be the right seed, and it has to have potency in it. If it does, and you plant it in the ground, and you give it the right amount of light and water and whatnot, and you cultivate it properly, then it can really grow. But even if that seed has potential, and you don't plant it at the right time of the year, or you don't do the right cultivation, so it might not reach that potential, it might not grow. So the role of parents, the role of schools and teachers, etc., is to provide that environment and to help coax and provide the cultivation so that seed can reach its potential. So the environment plays a massively important role in the child's being able to achieve success. Absolutely.
But how should the parent get out of that fear, because I really want to talk about that aptitude test, because there was a parent once in our program, and he said that aptitude tests are just those tick mark exercises, which actually are not able to help a child. But I really want to know that what really are these tests and how it can help the child and the parent to take the decision.
Yeah, well, I mean, not all tests are the same, and different tests measure different things. I've created my own test called Multiple Natures Test, and through the MN test, you can find out the qualities of the child and also which are the right careers that match. So my test specifically looks at career matching. Others look at different types of things. So we have lots of examples of kids who have found out that they were in the right area or they were not in the right area, they got onto the right track, and then they got their success. So it does work if it's the right test for the right person. So that's really important.
So that's what you're trying to say, is that maybe, you know, when once a child says that I want to be in that profession, may not be right for that.
Absolutely, it happens all the time. Like I say, a kid wants to be a cricketer, but wants to be that just for the name and the fame, or wants to be a doctor just because a parent is a doctor. Those are not necessarily the right reasons why you should choose that. You should first look at the quality and look at the nature. But when we do tests like this, we can actually figure out trends to say, you know what? He does have that ability and could do something within the music industry, as we were saying before. Now, it could be as a singer, but it could also be somebody who does editing as a sound editor. It could be somebody who gets into the music business and winds up becoming a music producer.
Yeah.
So it's not an all or nothing. When you say a fallback plan, it doesn't mean either you have to go for IAS or IITs, that kind of thing, or you can become a singer. And this is really the mistake I think that most people talk about when they say a fallback plan. A fallback plan could be, well, I could look at becoming a sound engineer. No, a sound engineer is an engineer, but he also needs a very strong ability in the music area.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you find some of these overlaps, parents suddenly start seeing a little bit more sense in it, and they think, okay, sound engineer, I like the engineer part.
Sound is okay, so let sound be for the
Yeah,
child, and
yeah.
engineering is for me.
And then when you show them the potential, I know one guy who, he became a sound engineer. He makes crores of rupees every year designing studios like the one that we're in right now, designing home theaters, auditoriums. And he said that almost nobody goes into this field because they don't know about it.
What do you feel is the biggest obstacle you have right now to move into that field?
Like I feel my academics, like
The pressure of academics.
Yeah, I have to be at pace, like at both the places, at music and even in school.
Make sure that there's some kind of conflict in your life, because you'll be able to turn that conflict into creative energy. So you might play, the academic blues,
Parents out there are really, really susceptible about creative arts as the mainstream business. So can these tests, these multiple nature tests, can help them to get out of these fears and say, like,
Yes.
Is it possible?
It is, because what it does is it provides a type of validation. In other words, that parents need to know that, does he really have it?
Yeah, that's very important.
Yeah,
Yes.
this is one thing they know. Okay,
He sings well.
he
he's
sings well,
good
but
in music,
they're
yeah.
a little biased because it's their kid.
Yes.
And so they can't see, and even if you do a performance and everybody's giving you a standing ovation, you come back and say, Mom, it was great, and everybody was applauding. They're like, yeah, go inside and do your homework. Malcolm Gladwell says that if you want to be, he's a very famous writer and journalist, says that he's done research that if you can do something for 10,000 hours, if you have the ability, you will gain that expertise in that area. You have to have the talent. You need someone to show you the way. But then, as he rightly said before, as Viraj said, you have to put in the effort.
Yes.
And he says that it's 10,000 hours.
What you would like to tell this new age parents that if their child is talented and if he's really wanting to get into it, he's on their head that I want to get into that profession, what should be their reaction?
I think you should give them a chance. It's very important, because if you don't give them the chance, they're going to resent it. And later on, they might become an engineer and say, you know what, I hate this job and you pushed me into it, and they'll feel guilty in a different way later on. So I think it's fair to give them a chance, but I wouldn't give the children a chance just blindly. They should have to prove themselves. And you might make certain stipulations. You might say, you've got to get an average or grade point average of so much pass percentage. You need to get at least these marks. Give me 70% or 80%.
In the academics?
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
Set a mark. Give me at least this much. If you can give me this much, I'll support you in that. So this way, there's a fair balance between the two. The parents are getting what it is that they want to feel comfortable, and the child also knows. And guess what? If that grade percentage slips down to 30%, the parents can then say, we're withdrawing. It'll bring the child forward. And that will make the child more serious and more responsible, I believe. And both can actually get what they want.
Yeah.
And if you do this and you give that opportunity, and the child really has it and works hard toward it, it will come out and he'll find his way.
Yeah, I know. It's actually visible. But would you like to do that barter?
Would you like to?
Do this barter?
Yeah.
70% in academics and then being allowed to pursue that career?
That's exactly what's happening with me right now.
Oh,
So-
parents are already doing that.
Yeah.
See, parents are wanting to do
Yeah.
that. But thank you so much for sharing, such beautiful insights. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's actually very heartening to understand that yes, there are these kids who are really talented, and what I've realized is that each child has something really beautiful inside which wants to come out. And the way Steve said that every child is a different seed, it means a different flower is going to come up. But we as parents have a duty, and that is to realize that potential and allow that potential to come out. Maybe at times, because of our own rigidity, because of our own belief systems, we are not able to let go. And these are the times when spirituality helps. So time now for spiritual significance.
We are at a juncture in the world of drama where everything is practically available to us. We have the technology, means, and too many career options. As we are living in a world which is dynamic, changes are happening at a fast pace. Adaptability is the key mantra for success. For a conservative, it can lead to uncertainty and insecurity, while for a versatile person, it's boom time. Success is assured if one is ready to let go of the inner rigidity and allow oneself to flow with the options. Concrete steps and discipline is needed for multi-career existence.
We need to understand what we want from life. Yes, our belief systems gave us answers. There were results, we had solutions, but we need to see whether we want this kind of quality life for my child. Maybe the child is aspiring for something else. Maybe for him or her, wealth is not everything. In fact, success is something else for that child. And at times, mapping these conflicts gives us another way to look at the problems. So time now for mapping the conflict.
Mapping the conflict. Existing belief. Hobbies and academics should be kept separate. Hobbies cannot be chosen as a career.
New belief. If I'm good in creative arts, I would like to make a name and fame in my chosen field.
Solution. Name and fame comes with brilliance, passion, hard work, and good public relations in any chosen career. It doesn't have to be necessarily in creative field. Existing belief. Family traditions should be followed in choosing the career of the younger generation. After all, they carry the same genes.
New belief. Even if my child wants to pursue a career in other fields, I am okay, but he should have a safe career option.
Solution. Most important while choosing a career is the aptitude of the child. Parents should be completely involved during the aptitude tests and other additional tests. Existing belief. All these tests can confuse the child. Till school, focus should be on academics.
New belief. I have given complete freedom to the child to choose his career. I don't want to interfere in his choices.
Solution. Your child's choice may be based on peer pressure or hearsay. Be an active participant while choosing a career for your child. Be aware of all the pros and cons of the chosen field.
If done properly, parenting is another way to actually go through your own childhood, because when you are parenting your child, you get back to the time when you were a child, and maybe once you are parenting creatively, your own blockages of the childhood will start opening up. So till the time we meet again, enjoy parenting.